Have you been to Bucharest yet? No? You should start planning a trip there now. That's what we did. We were in Varna, Bulgaria when we decided to go to Bucharest for the weekend. By the way, Varna is a city on the shores of the Black Sea with a lot of history to tell, which you can see in the link about our trip to Bulgaria that we left in the description. The capital of Romania is an exciting and beautiful destination, with a rich history, vibrant nightlife, and lots of things to do. It's the perfect destination for a fun weekend getaway. If you're planning to spend a weekend in Bucharest, this 2-day itinerary will cover all the main points of interest and the best things to do in Bucharest. Come discover where to go, what to see and how to spend a weekend in Bucharest. Bucharest is a pretty big city, but it's also very walkable. You will find it very easy and enjoyable to explore the main landmarks of the city on foot or by public transport. If you want to get a taxi, I recommend using Uber, or as it is considerably cheaper than a normal taxi. We got from the Old Town to the airport with Uber, and for a half-hour journey, it only cost us the equivalent of 10 euros. Just remember that although Romania is part of the European Union, it does not use the euro. The local currency is the Romanian leu, RON. Stay with us. These are the most important attractions in the city. It would be very nice if you liked the video and subscribe to the channel to see more videos about wonderful destinations like this one. The setting for all sorts of Romanian institutions, Revolution Square got its name from the violent unrest in 1989 that deposed Nicolae Ceausescu and overthrew the Socialist Republic of Romania. The former Royal Palace, now the National Museum of Art of Romania, the Athenaeum, the Athenaeum Palace Hotel, and the University of Bucharest Library are located here. The square also houses the building of the former Central Committee of the Romanian Communist Party, from where Nicolae Ceausescu and his wife fled by helicopter on December 22, 1989. The massive statue, cast in bronze, represents Carol I of Romania, the first king of Romania, mounted on his horse. In this square, you can still see the Memorial of Rebirth, which the locals know by some nicknames. So, it's most commonly referred to as the potato on a stick or potato on a skewer monument, though some others compare the giant blob being pierced to olive or a brain. It's a sign of the street's history and prestige that many of the attractions and landmarks on this list are located here. Beginning at Revolution Square in the north, Calea Victoriei continues all the way down to the Dimbovița River, and after a fallow period during the Socialist Republic is a posh shopping and entertainment street traced by cafés, fashion emporia, restaurants, cultural venues, and art galleries. These are mostly set on the southern end, while the northern reaches are for stately residences. Calea Victoriei's market reputation has persisted for hundreds of years, partly because it was one of the only paved streets in the city. At first the road was covered with wooden planks, sparing its wealthier citizens from the mud that dominated the rest of the city in autumn and spring. Near the Japanese gardens beside Herăstrău Park, this monument dates to 1936 to commemorate both the Romanian War of Independence and the First World War. The arch is at the same location as an earlier wooden version built in haste to celebrate victory in the War of Independence when the nation broke from the Ottoman Empire in 1878. This was replaced by another wooden arch after the First World War, while the current monument has reliefs carved by Constantine Bărescu, the foremost Romanian sculptor of the 1930s. There's a platform on the roof that you can reach on special days, but the rest of the time it's a sight to admire from the other side of a very busy roundabout. A performance venue extraordinaire, the neoclassical Romanian Athenaeum is the home of the George Enescu Philharmonic Orchestra. Wrapped in gardens, this magnificent structure was completed in 1888 and given a thorough restoration to save it from collapse in 1992. Under a grand dome embellished with gilded stucco work, the circular concert hall seats more than 650 and has an epic fresco on its frieze that depicts the most pivotal events in Romanian history. For an affordable night of Haydn, Bach, or Mozart, book online and pick up tickets from the box office. Be here in September for the George Enescu Festival, when there's a busy program of performances and one of Eastern Europe's biggest classical events. A building of absurd magnitude, the Parliamentary Palace hosts Romania's parliament, but also perfectly encapsulates Nicolae Ceausescu's megalomania. At 365,000 square meters, it's the largest administrative building in the world, intended as a residence, and despite containing reception halls, museums and government offices, and the Parliament Hall, is still almost three-quarters empty. The palace was raised at an enormous cost, in terms of money but also lives, as thousands of people are claimed to have died during its construction in the second half of the 1980s. The palace was the focal point of Ceausescu's pompous redesign of Bucharest following an earthquake in 1977, and had 8 subterranean levels, at the bottom of which was a nuclear bunker. The People's Salvation Cathedral is an Orthodox cathedral under construction in Bucharest to serve as the patriarchal cathedral of the Romanian Orthodox Church. It is located in central Bucharest, facing the same courtyard as the Palace of Parliament. It is the tallest and largest Eastern Orthodox church building by volume and area in the world. Also, the People's Salvation Cathedral has the world's largest Orthodox iconostasis, 23.8 meters in length and 17.1 meters in height, and the world's largest free-swinging church bell. The cathedral is dedicated to the Ascension of Christ, which in Romania is celebrated as the Heroes' Day, and to Saint Andrew the Apostle, protector of Romania. Union Square is one of the biggest squares in the city. There is a park in the center, and the entire design is a clear example of the megalomania with which much of the city was built. Union Square is the meeting place for most locals. The Union Square features a big shopping center which is ever-changing. In front of the shopping mall, there is Union Park, a green space that features wooden benches for people to relax. At Union Square, there are also the fountains. The fountains are located on the Union Embankment Boulevard, and each fountain represents a county of Romania. In front of the fountains is the huge People's House, a communist building erected during Ceausescu's regime, which now houses the Romanian Parliament. The Old Town, known as Central Vecii, is the most sought-after touristic area in the city. A bit more than 10 years ago, this cobbled stone network of small streets was an area full of old houses left to rot. Nowadays, many of these buildings are being renovated and transformed into hotels, restaurants, and shops. The Old Town is one of the liveliest districts, with myriad coffee places and bars where locals are seen over the weekends. As this is a touristy place, Old Town can be a bit expensive. Many locals swear by the quality of the entertainment here, whilst others prefer finding more off-the-beaten-path options. The Cișmigiu Gardens or the Cișmigiu Park form the oldest and the largest park in the central area. The park was built in 1847, around an artificial lake. It is popular in Romanian literature fiction, referred to in several literary works. No matter what the season, Cișmigiu Park is a fantastic place for a laid-back afternoon. It is especially busy during the weekend when old residents come to enjoy a stroll. Teens usually meet there, tell tales and play the guitars for an atmospheric evening. One of the most famous places in Cișmigiu is a restaurant called At the Library. It used to be a great place for coffee and alcoholic drinks, although now they also serve food and English breakfasts. University Square is another important meeting point for locals. Apart from the main university building, here you will also find the National Theatre, the Colti Hospital, a very old church called Three Hierarchs. The roundabout is accessible by car only, and pedestrians must use the underground passageway, which is lined with an old bookstore, several shops, and pastry shops. Sometimes, there are art displays located in the center of the passageway. University Square was the site of the 1990s Golaniad, a peaceful student protest against the ex-communists and the Romanian government. The demonstrations ended violently when the miners came to Bucharest. Arguably the finest religious building in Bucharest, Stavropoleos Church has a gorgeous facade that has multifoil arches painted with arabesque foliate and tendril patterns and held up by beautiful capitals. Above are painted medallions of saints, and there's much more painting inside in the form of stone frescoes and a breathtaking iconostasis. The church dates to the 1720s, and its architecture is a perfect expression of Romania's Brancovenesque style, which blended Byzantine, Ottoman, Renaissance, and Baroque elements. Right next door is an early 20th century building housing religious art like icons and frescoes from the many churches that were pulled down during the communist regime after the Second World War. One of the most beautiful palaces in Bucharest. You can visit the George Enescu Museum or just photograph it from the outside. A must-see whilst in Bucharest, for sure. Victory Square is where you can find various business centers and shops. The Victory Palace is located in Victory Square and serves as the headquarters of the Prime Minister. In Victory Square, you can find the Antipa Museum, which is the National Museum of Natural History. It has been renovated and reopened recently and has plenty of great exhibitions and English translations. Thanks for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Stay healthy and see you soon.